Hey guys, we're back today with I Survived the Tornado of Joplin 2011. I have my daughter here, Lainey. She's going to help me read today. For those of you who didn't tune in yesterday, we read chapters 1 and 2 yesterday, and it started the story out with Dexter having to tell about his brother, and the tornado was coming. So today we're going to read chapter 3 and 4. Starts out with chapter 3. Crush! Dex hit the pavement. It took him a few long seconds to realize what happened. It wasn't the car that had knocked him down. It was Zeke. The dog had smacked him into the bike, sending Dex tumbling to the street seconds before the car would have hit him. Dex sat there in shock until Zeke revived him with an attack of slobbery licks. "You saved me," Dex said, burying his face in Zeke's smooth gray fur. Dex was still catching his breath when a man came rushing towards him. Dex realized that it was the owner of the car that had almost hit him. Dex hauled himself to his feet. "Are you okay?" the man asked breathlessly. "I think that dog of yours might have superpowers. Did he actually push you off that bike?" "I think he did," Dex said, staring at the man. There was something familiar about his shiny bald head and friendly brown eyes. Wait, no? Could it be? Dex's heart started to pound. "You're Dr. Norman Gage," Dex blurted out. "The storm chaser." "That's right," the man said with a surprised laugh. Dr. Gage had his own TV show called Tornado Mysteries. Dad and Dex watched it every week. Jeremy had loved it too. What was extra cool was that Dad had actually known Dr. Gage in college. Dad always regretted that they lost touch. "I'm Dex James," Dex said, trying not to squeak with excitement like one of the Tucker twins. "I think you maybe know my father, David." Dr. Gage studied Dex with a confused look, but then he burst into a big grin. "You're kidding me. You're Dave James's son?" he said. "I miss that guy. Your dad is one of the smartest people I ever met." "I know your show," Dex gushed. "Ha," Dr. Gage said, "and I think I almost ran over my only fan." "No, my dad and brother love your show too." "That makes my day," Dr. Gage said, and Dex could see he really meant it. Dex looked over at Dr. Gage's vehicle, which he recognized now from the show. It was a bright red SUV with truck tires and a forest of antennas sprouting from the roof. It looked more like a tank than a regular car. "What are you doing here in Joplin?" Dex asked. Dex knew that Dr. Gage lived in Tulsa, Oklahoma, which was a good 2 hours away. "There's a workshop I'm going to this evening," Dr. Gage said, "but I'm going to stay over and do some storm chasing tomorrow." "There's an interesting storm brewing to the west of here. You think we'll get a tornado?" Dex asked. They got plenty of storms every spring, violent thunderstorms that turned the sky black and sent down sheets of rain. There were tornado warnings practically every week, but there hadn't been a big tornado in Joplin in 40 years. "You never know for sure when a tornado is going to strike," Dr. Gage said, "but I've been tracking this storm all week. From the way things are looking, I think we could get a tornado somewhere north of Galena." Galena was about 7 miles from Joplin, just over the Kansas border. Dex felt a mix of fear and excitement. "I've always wanted to see a tornado," he blurted out. Not a big one, of course, and not up close. He understood that tornadoes are one of the most destructive forces in nature. Powerful tornadoes are like mile-wide chainsaws with winds that can get up to 300 miles per hour. Strong enough to pulverize buildings, turn a neighborhood into a pile of wood chips, or pick up a tractor trailer and hurl it into 100 yards. Tornadoes were terrifying, but they were fascinating too, like Komodo dragons and black mamba snakes. And Dex had always wanted to see one with his own eyes, not just in YouTube videos and on Dr. Gage's show. "Tell you what," Dr. Gage said. "Why don't you and your dad come along with me tomorrow? I can't guarantee we'll see anything. Most times I don't. But there's always something new to learn." Dex's heart leaped up, but then he remembered that both Mom and Dad had to go to Joplin High School graduation tomorrow. All the teachers had to be there. "My dad won't be able to come," Dex said. Dr. Gage reached into his pocket and took out a business card, which he handed to Dex. Have my old buddy give me a call. Maybe he'll let you come and help me out." Dr. Gage gave Zeke a last pat on his head and got into his SUV. Dex blinked his eyes hard, sure this was all a dream. But no, he had been invited to go storm chasing with Dr. Norman Gage. He might actually see a tornado, for real.
Sounds way too dangerous, Mom said, adding a dash of pepper to a bubbling pot of chili. I don't like the idea of Dex heading off with some thrill seeker. Dex, Mom, and Dad were in the kitchen, cooking their usual Saturday night chili dinner. Dad had already spoken to Dr. Gage, and he was excited for Dex to go on tomorrow's chase. Now, they just had to get Mom to go along with the plan. Deb Norm is a serious scientist, Dad said. Mom eyed him. What he does is dangerous, David. Norman Gage isn't chasing bunnies, he's chasing tornadoes. Now there's a show I'd like to see, Dad said. Norman Gage, Bunny Chaser. That made them all laugh, with Mom's sing-song giggle rising up loudest. Good sign, Dex thought. When Mom was really upset, not even Zeke could make her smile. After Jeremy left, it seemed Mom hadn't cracked a smile for a month. Mom stopped laughing. I just feel better if one of us were going along. There was no way she or Dad could miss the graduation ceremony. Dad brushed one of Mom's blonde curls out of her forehead. I trust Norm. He really doesn't take risks, Dad said. And this is an incredible opportunity for Dex. You should see his car, Mom, Dex said. It can go way faster than any tornado. Mom looked at Dad and then Dex, flicking her dark eyes back and forth. Dex held his breath. Finally, Mom gave her a surrender sigh and flashed the smile that Dad swore was the prettiest in Joplin. All right, victory! After dinner, Mom put the Scrabble board on the table. She looked at Dex hopefully. Quick game. Scrabble used to be another Saturday night tradition. Mom and Dad versus Dex and Jeremy. The fierce games would stretch for hours over bowls of popcorn and chocolate ice cream. When Dex and Jeremy won, they'd parade around the house like Super Bowl champs, whooping with joy. Dex couldn't tell Mom that with Jeremy gone, Scrabble was just a boring game. He kissed her goodnight. I need to get a good night's sleep for tomorrow. He said good night to Dad and headed up to his room. He watched a couple episodes of Dr. Gage's show and then got ready for bed. He pulled back his blankets to make a spot for Zeke. He had to yank hard to undo his sheets, which were tucked in extra tight. Jeremy had taught him how to make his bed that way. He had just finished SEAL training in California, the most brutal military training in the world. It was 6 months of pure misery, Jeremy said, endless days of grueling runs, freezing ocean swims, and impossible obstacle courses. The worst night for Jeremy was when they had to swim for hours in the freezing Pacific Ocean. The surf was so rough he got thrown against some rocks and cut his leg. They finally pulled me out of the water, Jeremy had said. They were afraid my blood would attract the great white sharks and feed that area. Dex had repeated the story to Dylan and the guys, and they had almost fallen off their chairs with happiness. Dex also showed them Jeremy's SEAL trident pin, with which Jeremy let him bring to school for the day. The pin was a golden eagle clutching an anchor, a gun, and a three-pronged spear. Dex explained that out of the 118 guys who starred in Jeremy's training class, only 23 passed and got their pins. The guys crowded around Dex, staring at the pin in awe, as if it was a dinosaur egg about to hatch. What was the best thing Jeremy learned in training? Dylan had asked. Almost without thinking, Dex said to make his bed right. It's the first thing a SEAL learns in training. Anyone who does it wrong gets their bed ripped apart by the instructors. I don't get it, Dylan said, not rudely. Dex had said the same thing to Jeremy, and now Dex repeated his brother's answer almost word for word to the guys. Because you make your bed right and you've started the day doing something right. And if you have a hard day, you can come home to a bed you made. So you can go to sleep and get strong again for the next day. The guys watched for Dylan's reaction. What, that makes sense, he said finally. And now Dex climbed into his perfectly made bed and snuggled up with Zeke. He had a silent good night to his brothers and a prayer to keep him safe. Tonight, at least, he didn't lie awake thinking about Jeremy. His head was filled with tornadoes dancing in the sky, touching down in his mind and carrying him off to sleep.
All right, we'll catch you tomorrow for chapters 5 and 6. We hope you're enjoying these videos.
Don't forget to subscribe and like.